Last week on the Four Dorksmen.
So as of now, before we move on next week, Nate has 20, Clint has 30, and Joey has 20. So Clint, you are in a small marginal lead.
I'll take it. I'll need it.
Yes, you will, because next time it's going to be 50 points a question.
50 points a question.
And you guys only get 2 questions each.
Welcome everybody to episode 32 of the Four Dorksmen podcast. There's Clint waving. I'm Nate, aka Angry Nate.
This is Ramen.
We need to have you go last, man.
What's flavor of ramen? Was it?
Choice words here.
It's soy.
This is Collector Clint flavored.
Nobody wants that flavor.
You're right.
Nobody.
I don't want to be that flavor.
I just vomited in my mouth. Thank you. This is Ryan. And I have nothing witty to say. I'll just say this is Ryan. Thanks.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us this
We're
week.
off to a wonderful start.
Yeah, this is great. So we are four dorks, or whatever else you want to call us.
Nerds.
Four nerds, four ramen lovers.
For awesome guys.
Which
Awesome.
flavor would each one of us be?
Deliciousness.
Please answer that. Tell us
Is this a live ask the Dorksman
this
tweet?
is
Garlic.
we ask as the Dorksman, what
Ask as
ramen
the
flavors would we be, each of us? I'll tweet that out later this week. But anyways,
What's the bitter one? I'm that one.
You're the picante.
fusion. It's like Mexican Chinese fusion.
Let's keep going.
Not even
So-
2 minutes in and we're all the way in left field.
It's true.
Good job.
So thank you everyone for joining us. You can always follow us. Make sure you're following us on Twitter and Instagram, _Dorksman. Make sure you've got that bingo card fired up at dorksmanbingo.com. Shout out to Larry from the STS guys, and also Andrew New Beardland for hooking us up with the redirect and also building the Dorksman bingo card for us. Also, make sure you can email us, dorksman@gmail.com. We will probably just answer your email on the air because we're really too lazy to hit that reply button. So thank you for everyone joining us this week. If you listened to us last week, we hit up part 1 of our New York Toy Fair extravaganza. We had a very special guest with us last week. If you haven't heard, make sure you at least hear the first bit. We had a quick interview with Facebook top fan, Twitter superstar. That's about that's the last we're going to talk about him
Good.
for a long time.
Yes.
I think he's got more than his 15 seconds of fame that he needed from us. Let's jump into it this week. We've got a couple of Ask the Dorksman questions going, and the first question is from our good friend Vin Lee. He wants to know who would win in a street fight, the STS guys versus the Dorksmen.
By the way, just real quick, shout out to the STS guys as well. We were on with them a few weeks back, so
Just last week, or 2 weeks ago now.
it was a fun time. I'll say that.
It was a good time.
I'm just picturing something from Anchorman, and just
I'm
all
with
of
you
a
there.
sudden we just look over and it's like, is that a trident that Ryan has?
No.
kill the
Let's
guy.
be clear. Not a trident. I will bring a grenade.
Just walk around yelling.
grenade.
Yes. I love that.
He's got the Iron Man helmet, so he's ready for war. Like, he's straight up. He's just going to show up with the Iron Man helmet on. We're going to hide behind him, and we're going to be good, right?
Well, that's my question. Like, can we bring weapons? Because I know Scott on our episode was talking about buying a sword from the
From medieval times.
from medieval times. So,
Yeah.
so if we got to bring weapons, I need to know what to stock up with. I mean, if we're just, this is just straight fisticuffs. I'm going to give the edge to us, just because I'm a big fella. Nate's a big fella. Ryan can probably run around in circles until everybody gets tired.
I'm just gonna bite people's knees.
You seem more of a pacifist, sir. I don't
Yeah.
see you punching anybody.
You know what, though?
Ryan-
You get him in a corner. We've talked about this before. He's like that little guy on The Simpsons when
Yes,
they're doing that
exactly.
street fight who
Not
would just
to be
stand there
racist.
the whole time
Not to be
until his
racist,
moment.
because
And
the guy was in the Yakuza.
Hence
but-
the reason I will bring the grenade and just stand there until the opportune time, and I'll be like, "Pink, have at it."
Clint will probably be so high he won't be able to notice being punched in the face, so he'll
Guys,
probably be one of the
just
last
chill
ones
out,
to go down.
man. Just hang out. It's cool, man.
Well,
He could just Clint would channel his punch out abilities, right? And he would
right.
just he would
Star
just
punch.
speak-
Star.
Yeah.
Fresh start. Uppercut.
That's right. Joey's does have the reach. I'll give him that. I know Scott's tall, and I think Jeremy's actually pretty tall. So I think, but I think you guys actually have reach on him. And I honestly think Ryan and I have speed on Nate and Larry. So I think we would end up pulling that out. Thank God this is a hypothetical situation in question because I'd love those guys.
I think Scott would be the wild card. Like I think he could,
especially if he has the sword.
Yeah, like he could just. I think he's got a switch. Like he's like one of those guys. He's super chill. He's a fun dude. But like when push comes to shove, I feel like he would just snap people's necks, and I just feel like that could be dangerous. But I'm glad we're friends, and this is all just for fun. Unless they really want to fight, let's get some pay-per-view numbers going. Right. Let's raise some money.
Yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna make money on it.
Yeah. We gotta do this right. Pay-per-view.
We have Ryan. They have Nate, and I could see Nate doing the same thing Ryan does, just hanging out for his moment. Yeah, right. It'd be close, and we'd all have to go drink beers afterwards and say that escalated quickly. But
that's like asking Nate and I which is better, Funko or Mezco. Right?
That might start a fight right there.
Yeah,
that might be.
Hence the reason why I brought
that
it
might
up.
be the one that sets us off.
Like,
but
where'd you get your weapons at? The toilet store? Sorry, I mean we're talking about Anchorman. I had to drop.
No, thank you. That was perfect. I just don't want to have be all Ryan killed a guy. You should lay. Find a safe house.
The worst thing to happen would be if Ryan just threw a trident and just stabbed one of the other guys in the chest.
If we're gonna do this, though, we need other podcasts involved. Like we need to get the other guys some 3 beers and a mic in there, and get the secondary heroes in there, and get
just an all-out rumble.
What if we got geeked together, man? Like, what would you do, Clint? Would you be a double agent or something, going back and forth between your 2 podcasts?
That's a good question. So what's funny is we do want to do it. First of all, shout out to Geek Together if you guys haven't listened. But we want to do a joint episode with us. And one thing I proposed was doing like a Family Feud type thing. And I would be on the 4 Dorksmen side. So we'll put it like that.
So you have chosen a side, is what you're saying.
Do we trust Clint, though?
You've chosen a side. He's a double agent. No, we can't.
Yeah, we can't trust him.
Just look at that long hippie hair. You know he's a double agent.
I'm pretty sure there's an SNL episode where they do Family Feud and somebody keeps switching sides.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Probably. Welcome to the 3 Dorksmen, as Clint is now no longer with us.
3.5 Dorksmen.
3.
I'm on the same page as Funko Fail.
Ooh.
Ryan, are you the half Dorksman? You shouldn't put yourself down.
He's actually 1.5.
There's no short joke bingo square on the bingo card yet. So
we need to get one. We got to get a short joke because we got to get a fat joke one in there too. Because Joey said I was fat just like a few minutes ago.
Did I?
Well, we need a tall one, and we need we got a high one. We got a couple of drug references. We need a couple. But anyway,
so Andrew, if you're listening. Just a suggestion, anyway.
But Ben, thank you for the quote unquote question.
Yeah, that was a good question.
I want to know who you think's gonna win. You listen to both, so I want to know who you think's gonna win, the STS guys or the 4 Dorksmen.
Vin, you need to give a very lengthy explanation about the reason or reasons why you feel that way.
And an Anchorman gif when you respond. We need an Anchorman gif in there. Please, just appropriate.
I think that would be highly appropriate for asking here. Yes.
Let's move on.
All right. Question number 2 for this week comes from our good friend Steph and fellow Dorbs lover.
Yes.
She asks.
And Borderlands lover.
And Borderlands lover. Borderlands fan. Number 1 Borderlands fan.
Dadgummit.
Number 3 Borderlands fan is Joey.
I'm gonna leave and go over to Secondary Heroes because I'm in second place with all these fandoms.
I just put you in 3rd place.
So. Well, you quoted yourself as number 2 for The Office.
Are we gonna have a fight?
Yeah, but I was trying to be number 1 for something, man.
Are we gonna have a fight between Nate and Joey to figure out the number 2 Borderlands fan?
Fight.
No, Joey can have it. I will allow him to have it.
Nate will be the tertiary hero.
What is Steph's question?
Steph's question is, what is your preferred way of caffeine intake? And I think the only proper answer is straight up your butt.
I mean, you got to get it to you as quickly as you can.
I was thinking one of those weirdos with a coffee enema.
Right.
I was actually still thinking just osmosis, sitting in a bathtub of it and soaking it in.
No, my wife watched this weird show the other day, like TLC or something, like what weird people do, and there was this couple that did the coffee enemas together, and they stopped leaving the house because they were so addicted to it they couldn't go more than an hour or so without giving themselves one. It's quite disturbing.
Ew.
Steph, the honest answer to your question is coffee. I love coffee. I love cold coffee, hot coffee. I like coffee. I like plain coffee. I like fancy coffee. My answer would be coffee.
I have two. I will, if it's available, stop at McDonald's, like if I'm on the road and need to wake up, because that's usually the only time I need caffeine, and get one of their caramel frappuccinos or caramel frappes. But if I just have to like run into like a gas station or something, then Mountain Dew Code Red. I don't really deal with caffeine very well. So if it's any kind of 5-hour energy or one of those random energy drinks, whether it's Red Bull or Monster or whatever, I usually do not do well once I come down off of the caffeine.
You really shouldn't be drinking those anyway. Those are terrible for your body.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Well,
Terrible.
just caffeine in general is. I mean, it is a drug.
It affects the way your mind and body work.
Yeah.
Lovely drug.
So is it not good for me to just say cocaine then?
Well, there's no caffeine in
There's no
cocaine.
caffeine.
Yeah, you're
It
fine
starts
with
a
that.
C.
Yeah.
Come on. No,
No,
anyway.
you're good.
No, Steph, to answer your question, I'm just kind of like Clint. I'm an equal coffee consumer. I don't care if it's hot, cold, iced coffee, if it's a latte, Americano, doppio con panna.
Okay,
Okay.
that's enough. You can
But-
stop.
Yeah.
Well,
We get it. You're number one coffee fan. We get it.
Yeah, number
I'm
one
not
coffee
trying to
drinker.
be. I'm just trying to be technical.
He's listing all the ones he's trying for the coffee enema starting next.
It's like, hey,
next
Starbucks.
week.
Starbucks, listen to this.
Well, random fact, since you guys were talking about like Frappuccino and Frappe, Starbucks owns the rights to the name Frappuccino, and if you call it a frap, the employees kind of look down upon you. Just FYI. My ex used to work there, so she would scold me about that. Food for thought.
Sounds
more
like a
you know.
wonderful relationship.
Yeah.
For me, my real answer is just coffee in any form. Cold brew probably would be number one, but the Starbucks app actually just changed my life because I take the train down to work, and when I get to like the second to last station, and I just open up the Starbucks app, order my coffee, I just hit up the Starbucks on the way into the office. Everything's ready for me. I don't have to do anything. It is the greatest thing ever. And they just take money out of my bank account when it needs to be topped off. So the path of least resistance to my coffee is the best way to consume it for me.
So would you
So-
say that the app is better than sliced bread?
Yes.
Okay.
What?
Just to be clear.
Yes. Because I can order a sandwich from my app without having to
Oh,
get
it includes sliced bread. There you go. Hey, I got a funny story real quick about Code Red. When that came
It's
out,
delicious.
I've actually, I don't think I've ever had a Mountain Dew Code Red. That's not the point. When it first came out, though, I remember I was with some friends and we were at a party, and this woman was just driving one of my friends nuts, and she was starting to come up, and he goes, "Oh no, here comes Code Red!" And she heard him. She goes, "I ain't no Code Red." From I think that's from Friday, the next Friday movie. It's in there too, and oh man, I still remember that. I think we just laughed and laughed, but I ain't no Code Red.
Did she
Great
look like
story,
Janet
Clint.
Jackson?
I loved it. What's that?
Did she look like Janet Jackson?
No, I'm sure she no.
No. Okay, that's a Friday reference.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
boo.
my bad. Well, what the next Friday or Friday?
Friday.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't thinking about it. Sorry.
The only one that counts.
That's probably true too.
Insert
Anyways.
sound bite. Damn.
Thank you. Thank you, Steph, for the fun coffee question. Please let us know how you enjoy your coffee, what your favorite coffees are.
Caffeine.
Your favorite, caffeine. Your favorite way to have caffeine, whether it be coffee or coffee crisp, or if you drink Monster energy drinks, get your
Or
heart
an
checked.
enema.
Or that.
Whatever
way-
it is, let us know.
Whatever it is, let us know. So last week we talked about New York Toy Fair, part one of our New York Toy Fair discussion. We kind of hit up everything pop related. We touched on some of the Pakas. So we kind of went all over the place. So we just wanted to continue that conversation this week, kind of wrap that up, because there was truly just so much stuff that Funko released. And this is just Funko. If we wanted to go into all the other collectibles, we could do this for like the next 3 months probably.
Let's not.
Let's not. Since we are primarily Funko collectors, let's stick with Funko. First thing on the list this week, the pop albums. Personally, this is the one thing that I'm looking forward to the most out of the New York Toy Fair announcements. Not just because it's the Notorious B.I.G., Ready to Die, iconic album done as the first, I guess, the inaugural pop album. But just the fact that they can go into so many different ways with this. So I just want to hear what you guys think about it and kind of, get some ideas of some other albums that you guys would like to see. I know, Ryan, this is big for you because you're a big music guy. So kick us off if you want.
I'm 100% on board with this. The first one that came to mind for them to do after Biggie Ready to Die would be Tupac. I mean, obviously the relation is there, right? However,
What album though?
Machiavelli.
that's a good
It's
one.
not Tupac. That's Machiavelli.
The All Eyes on Me would be good. Where he's just
That's the
sitting
one
on
that popped
sitting-
in my head.
However, I don't think they could properly do it because him throwing up the W would be theoretically a gang sign. I don't think they would go for
They
that.
could do like a peace sign instead or
Oh,
something.
sure.
But,
Tupac with
yeah.
a peace sign. Tupac is resurrected as a 16-year-old Japanese girl.
They just have him holding a gun, and that'd be
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
right? 'Cause-
That'll work too. The one that I would really love to see, aside from Tupac, which I know will not happen because it's just obscene, is Nirvana's Nevermind.
That was actually my answer. I think I mean, yeah, you might have to edit out or just completely remove the penis. I know we're not on that number episode, but I think you could do it. And I think it'd be really cool to have it suspended if you could do that from
That's
the lid.
why I thought of it.
Yeah,
And, I mean, it's a clean, just blue background
right.
for the most part, right? The baby's in the pool chasing after the dollar. And by the way, one more shout out to Larry and the SDS guys. They were talking about this very subject last night on their episode. I'm sorry, I should say last week since this is going to be airing later at a time. But this is one of those things that they talked about as well. So I would love to see Nirvana's Nevermind, Green Day. I think that would be another good one.
Which one, Dookie?
Actually, that they're not on the cover though.
Yeah, that doesn't
Yeah.
lend
No,
anything
that's just-
to it on
yeah,
that one.
just art.
And I was a big Green Day fan growing up in high school, and none of the old albums actually have them on it either. So I take
Yeah,
that
but that's the
back.
thing you got to think of for, it's got to be something to where the pop works with it as well.
Yeah.
You can't just do anything with these.
What I could see them doing is a pop with the album cover in the back, so like a different pop in a pose.
Or Blink
So-
182 would work.
Yeah. So if it ends up being one like a Green Day one where it's like you've got the album art in the back and then just one of the band members, whatever, in the front in a whatever pose, right?
I wish they had the license for Green Day.
Yeah.
That would be epic to see Billy Joe Armstrong. Yeah. So
Another one that I would think would be really, really well would be Thriller, Michael Jackson.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's like
Yep.
leaning, like
Good
he's leaning
call.
down, right? I think that'd be a cool one.
well,
I would-
on the subject of Jacksons, they could also do Rhythm Nation because Janet's on the cover of that album.
yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to
Joey.
see, first of all, I love the concept of it. And if it was like a space is not an issue thing, I would probably be collecting several of them as they come out. But again, space is always an issue for us collecting. And the price point's not bad. It's $15 and it comes in a pretty nice looking little hard stack with the pop in there and the album.
Now, it's just that, now to clarify for anybody listening, it's just the picture of the album, though. There's no actual music
Right,
attached.
there's no
Right.
actual
Yeah.
vinyl or music attached.
Yeah.
They did
And I
also
don't-
mention that it's made to hang on the wall.
Did they?
Yep.
I did
That's cool.
not catch that part.
I didn't either. That's cool.
I would probably pick one of the Jimi Hendrix albums.
There you go.
Mhm.
Good choice.
Maybe Isle of Wight, because I'm looking at it now, and it looks like it could turn out to be a pretty good pop to go along with it, or the Experience Hendrix, which is just a best of album. But there are several ones, and I would like to see one of those. And my second one, I'm a huge Garth Brooks fan, and I've been wanting a Garth Brooks pop, and I think one of his album covers would look good for him because it's just him on the cover, so it's pretty easy to just get one of those done. But yeah, that'd be my two.
You know what I think would be cool would be either an Elton John or a Billy Joel one.
Yeah.
With like a piano or just with them?
Well, with them on it too, like the
That's
Yellow Brick
what I'm
Road.
wondering. Like we've got tons of musicians where they include like the guitar and the drum sets, but I don't think we've had one yet where there's like a full piano. I think there's maybe one where there's like a keyboard. I want to say the Police maybe. I don't know that for sure, but
No, they don't have a keyboard. It's a bassist, a pianist, and a drummer, or not pianist, a guitar player. Sorry.
Yeah, I would think it'd be pretty cool. You'd probably have to do one of the Pops Deluxe or something like that. But I think somebody like Elton John or Billy Joel would be perfect for a full-size piano pop.
And you know the other one for the album I think would be funny, and you could do this with a number of them, is Weird Al. He's got a number.
Yeah.
I think he's always on the cover of his albums.
That's a great
He's always, I mean, he could be running with scissors. He could be fat. He could be
Running with Scissors is exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah, I mean, he could be poodle hat. He could do. He's got a number of them, so that might be a good one.
And before we move on from the subject, I know a lot of the fans have asked for these pops in specific, so I'm also going to throw Daft Punk in there.
I was just about to say Daft Punk
would be epic to see. I would love to have that up on my wall.
Oh, the Gorillas with a pop ride with them all.
Yeah, that would be good too.
Would be dope.
I agree.
Yep.
That would be really cool, actually.
Yeah, Gorillas would be really dope.
And shout out to my friend Lisa. Dead Mouse would be good. I would love, dude. That would be sick. Dead Mouse would be sick.
Too.
That's the second episode in a row you're going to shout out to Lisa.
Well, I was gonna mention Lady Gaga. She's a huge fan of Lady Gaga. So
is Gaga on the cover of any of your albums?
I that's for me not knowing. At least one of them. Or if not, like Nate's idea, right? Just have the pop in front of the album artwork and have her wearing her like neat dress or something. That's pretty iconic.
We need Lady Gaga pops. 100%.
We do. A lot of people ask for it on the boards, and it is one of those really popular
I have a feeling with her, much like Bono, I have a feeling they're working on it. It just has to do something with charity. It's not just going to be a straight up profit thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, which is fair. That's, I mean, when you have a celebrity at that level, and if they want to use their likeness and stuff for a better cause, hey, I'm all for it. And just pay that $20 or whatever it is for a charity item, because if it's going to a good cause, I'm in.
I was just going to say that I don't collect it, but if there was Lady Gaga or Bono pop and they went to charity, I'd buy it just for that point alone.
Yeah. Nate still needs his Taylor Swift pop.
I do.
So I'm going through album covers right now. Another one. Sorry, I keep adding to this, but Fleetwood Mac.
The one
Rumors?
where
Rumors.
Rumors one.
Yeah,
I love Fleetwood Mac.
We got to get off this topic because Ryan's just gonna have a whole episode about what albums he wants to see.
We're gonna be in the middle of playing the next version of the game, and he's gonna be like, "You know what I just thought of?
Hey, I just looked at this one, man.
Hey, what about Huey Lewis? Yeah,
The Beatles, Abbey Road.
Yeah. What about Weezer?
Oh my gosh.
Anyway,
Nate, go.
6 months later, out of nowhere, Ryan will just be like, "What about this album and that one?" Anyways, thank you, Ryan, for your expertise.
Hurry, come on.
Excited to hear anybody else what your thoughts are. Please hit us up on Twitter and let us know what you'd like to see in terms of the pop albums. Yeah, everywhere.
YouTube,
Email us.
YouTube as well. We are up on YouTube.
Oh, good call. Yes,
YouTube.
Forgot to mention that.
Yes, we are actually now back on YouTube. Just the audio, but if that's what you prefer, if that's your preferred platform to queue up to listen to podcasts and whatnot, hey, that's where we are as well. Moving along, board games. So we know Funko Games is starting to become a bigger thing. They just tweeted out a bunch of stuff this week during New York Toy Fair. There's quite a few board games that, on top of the Funkoverse game, which is I still got to sit down and play. But there's a lot of new games that we're not quite sure what it's all about, but the concepts sound cool. I mean, I saw there's a Godzilla one. There's a new Back to the Future one. Pan Am was another one, which we've been speculating what that's all about, but we have really no idea. So what are you guys' thoughts on the board games?
So from my experience, the company that Funko acquired, the Prospero Halls, has always done a really good job with board games. Again, I have not played Funkoverse yet either. I bought multiple copies and actually plan to buy more. But I'm encouraged because I actually really like board games. I don't know if you guys saw, this is now a couple weeks old, but just recently, I played What Do You Meme for the first time, and I thought that game was so fun. So board games in general are a great idea, and I love the collector aspect of it because, I have every single deck of Cards Against Humanity despite never playing with some of them. I always do Kickstarter stuff for Cyanide and Happiness. They just did the Trial by Trolley, and I did that one and got the collectibles that come with it. So I'd like the two go hand in hand. I'm really encouraged to see what else they come out with.
You're a hoarder.
We talk about it on a Geek Together, and you're right.
Oh, I have this too. Oh yeah, and I have that. Oh, I think I have that. Wait, no.
And I haven't opened
that one
it
last week.
Yes,
I did. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But anyway, I think the two go hand in hand, and I love it. I think that I love what they're doing.
you got two different things going on here. You have the Funkoverse games, which are geared more towards a collector who is going to get some figures along with a board game that they can put on display. And then you have the other side that they're trying to do, which is what I would say would be your more traditional board game, which obviously they were acquired by Funko, so it's still Funko backed, but it doesn't have, I don't think, that collectible aspect to it. So the Funkoverse games, I'll talk about that first. I think they did a great job starting to go out into other lines that are popular, like Back to the Future, for instance. I know there's another DC one that I think they just announced today, actually, with no, it was out on Friday. I'm sorry, the Wonder Woman, but they did post about it again.
Right.
The thing that I'm interested in for the Funkoverse stuff is, are they going to keep pushing it? In other words, are we going to start getting anime board games? Because I think that's an untapped market so far that they have not explored with the Funkoverse that I think could be a huge boom in the sales form, like a My Hero Academia, Dragon Ball, obviously, and that may be an issue with the licensor. They may not approve them to do a board game. So that may not come, or it may be further down the line. But I'm definitely intrigued by the regular board games. Like, I mean, Godzilla, that just sounds very interesting. I'm just trying to wrap my head around the Pan Am game to see how this airline-based game would work.
Yeah, right.
And then
You and I both are intrigued by this one.
Yeah, and then the Last Defense game, which is one of the other ones they announced, I don't know if it's going to be like a tower defense type setup board game. Again, there was not a lot of information provided with them, but that sounds intriguing. If it is a like tower defense based board game, I think that could be possibly very interesting and very fun to play.
The tagline on here is, "You have 20 minutes to save the city."
Okay, so now you know what the game is.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, I was adding to the mystery of what you were talking about. It's interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting that they didn't really go into too much detail about the board game, other than it's like, awesome Godzilla board game, Tokyo Clash. We're like, okay, well, that looks really cool, but what am I doing?
I thought it was very interesting that they also debuted some of these at the New York Toy Fair instead of the board game con. I'm trying to think of the name of it right now.
But I know,
yeah.
But we also don't know. I mean, we don't know how far along these are developed either, and they might be wanting to get intrigue going first, and then have actual gameplay at the whatever the game convention.
That's true too, because I think that game convention, I think that's one of their big things usually, is that they actually have the new board games for you to play and check out and stuff like that. So that could be a possibility too. It could not be fully developed and ready to be played just yet.
So here's the thing that I've been just looking at, which is actually kind of interesting, was so the Godzilla game is, I don't see anywhere that it's kind of made by Prospero Hall, whereas like Yacht Rock, it actually says game by Prospero Hall. Last Defense actually says like a game in conjunction with Last Defense is by Prospero Hall, and Back to the Future, it says a cooperative adventure game by Prospero Hall. So these ones say that they're made by Prospero Hall. The Godzilla one, I think it might be a publishing deal, because it says it's. I'm not sure what the Toho company is.
It says Funko Games on the side.
Yeah. So same with Pan Am. Pan Am doesn't have the Prospero Halls say it's like designed by Prospero Hall. So I wonder if this is an older game that we might have just not known, that they're just bringing back and just kind of rehashing and kind of making it for the new year. But it'll be interesting. I think it's gonna be interesting to see.
I love this idea. I'm still dying to play Funkoverse, by the way. I didn't buy it just to have it. I'm just hoarding it. And I'm actually thinking about one off night on Emerald City, getting it out and playing.
I was gonna say, why don't you bring it to Emerald City? And if we find a spare time, let's record live.
In line.
Right.
Actually sitting in line.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. Dude, like Thursday sitting in the Funko line for general admission and then play it all. All right, or not, whatever. I want to try it. I don't know. I got to figure out something to do. But anyway.
Beats looking through your phone and wasting your battery.
But if you followed our pro tips from the previous episodes, where you would bring an extra battery for your phone, you would never.
Yeah, but
run
using
into
it
that problem.
just for the sake of using it isn't necessarily a good idea, and you got to make the best of your time. Anyway, we're getting off topic. I like the games. I look forward to what they're doing.
Do you
to get the last word in? Apparently, that's not what I was going for, but there it was.
Do you though, Clint?
Yes.
Okay.
You sure?
No, I believe you.
He's looking forward to buying more Funkoverse games to put up on the shelf.
That's right, just for display.
They're great display pieces, but play them.
I need to play them. I want to play them.
All right, moving on. What's next? We got Snapsies.
Snapsies.
I have no idea what these are. So if someone that knows what they are can explain to me what these are.
I saw a YouTube video on it a week ago, and it looks to be like a Paka Paka machine that you get them out of, so some type of interactive vending machine. But I couldn't tell for sure when the person doing the YouTube video was opening them up. I couldn't tell if this, obviously the Snapsies part has to do with snapping the toys together, so like you assemble them. And I couldn't tell if everything was in the container for you to assemble, or if like, oh, you've got other pieces that you have to collect to finally assemble it. Or if it was, oh, you can assemble one thing out of this, but then if you collect several more, you can assemble something bigger out of it. So it's interesting if this is something that takes off, because it looks like it's geared towards younger kids. It looks like it might be geared towards kind of girls. So it's interesting if this takes off and becomes popular, what they do with it next. Is it going to be something that, you know, they venture out and make something that's more geared towards older kids or boys or adults or something like that? So it might be one of those little, let's dip our toe in, but not jump all the way into this type of market just yet.
Interesting.
Right?
You gonna grab some?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
No, I'm good.
No, you sure?
Yeah, I'm
You're not
pretty
gonna hoard
sure.
it like Clint just hoards anything.
Or maybe I'll just get
it.
a bunch of them and we can assemble them while waiting in line at the con.
I can think of worse ways to spend your time.
Especially
Even
if your
though-
phone battery's dead, because you
That's
didn't
right.
listen to episode 29 or 30 or whatever it is we talked about.
It does say
concepts.
featuring Snap technology, patent pending.
Oh, so it's like a special Snap technology.
That's what it says.
Yeah.
The name isn't very creative, but
It
All
really-
jokes aside, I think it's like it's cool to see Funko doing stuff for the kids and for people of all ages and just of all collections and fandoms and just branching out there and doing different things.
this
Well,
reminds me of like fingerlings. Do you guys remember those?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're going to be getting into more of these different lines as we go, and maybe this is the segue into it. But it just seems very interesting that they are branching out into more what are toys. I know, you know, Funko Pops are toys, whatever, you know, we can debate that issue, but most people have them as collectibles, right? Whereas it
Right.
seems like they're starting to get into more stuff like, hey, this is actually meant for you to take out and play with. This is actually
Mhm.
geared more towards kids.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
Snaps
I like
are a
it.
good
I think it's a neat idea. I think Ryan brought it up last episode where he's saying they're branching out and trying new things, and I like
Exactly.
that.
No.
Testing the waters for other things in the market. As they say,
Yeah.
everybody's a fan of something. So if you're not already part of their group of collectors, what can we do to get you on board and buy some of our products?
Yeah, so I mean, I guess we can talk about the other two since I kind of brought it up. But the other two lines that they're starting are the Boogey monsters, and then the Gas House Gang, which the Gas House Gang are like squeezable toys that make multiple sounds, whether it's a fart or burp, whatever. And then the Boogey monsters, it's like. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe this thing. It's like a nose that you pick with something, and it's got slime in it, apparently, or something. I'm not sure.
That's exactly what.
All I can think is like some of the Garbage Pail Kid type stuff is what it reminds me of. Like it's meant to be gross and offensive to parents, to where they say no to make the kids want it more.
Right. And it's genius, right? Because that's what, as a kid, when you saw like Garbage Pail Kids, you're like, I want those. And obviously your parents were like, that's disgusting. Why is that kid have like half his brain blown out? And you're like, because it's funny. And it's like, he lives in a garbage pail. And yeah, parents hate it. Kids love it. As some of you guys are parents, would you buy your kids stuff like this? I mean, I know, Joy, your kids are a bit older now and they can make their own decisions about stuff like this. But Clint, if your daughter was like, maybe like another year or two older, and she saw these Garbage Pail Kids style toys, would you be like, that's hilarious because that's what I used to like? Or would you be like, no, we're not going to let you do that?
I'd let her try it, see what she thinks, but I'm not a huge fan myself of the concept. I think the toys actually are kind of cute, but the whole nose picking thing is weird. But if Ava was interested, I'd at least let her try it and then see how it goes. But like you said, they're feeling, and this might be, Snapsies is more female oriented. Maybe this is supposed to be the more male oriented for the kids. So I don't know. We'll see.
Good point.
But either way, I like that they're trying new things, and I mean, let's face it, gross stuff.
Gross stuff sells.
Poop and snot sells, exactly.
As soon as I saw the Gas House Gang and the Boogey Nose Monster thing, I was like, man, this sounds just like a conversation Julie would be having. Just like
so true.
You said it, not me.
Was that okay, Joey? He didn't force that one.
No.
You didn't even notice.
And they're starting to branch out more, I think, with the plushie stuff too, because they also announced the Banana line of the plushes. It's like looks like a cat inside of a banana that's been peeled back.
Well, those aren't new. They've had those before.
Have they? So this is just a new wave of them or something?
Yeah, I think it's like a real wave. I think the other one was smaller and more minor. So now that they've done it, they've branched out more, is my impression.
Okay. Because I know they have been doing some plushes, but I hadn't seen these before.
It's kind of crazy to think just how many, like, I've never heard of these banana.
Banana.
Sounds like you're yelling banana like you're mad at somebody. Banana!
Like, I never knew that was the Funko thing. Like, I was at Toy Traders a few weeks back, and it's like one of our big toy stores out here, and I saw these ad icons and the blocks, and I was like, man, these are awesome. Like, I collect the ad icons. I love the cereal monsters. I'm gonna grab these, and I picked them up, and I was like, what the heck, these are Funko. Like, so there's just truly so much stuff that Funko does that it's not just Pops. Like, Pops blew up, but there's just so many things that they make that truly just hit so many different fandoms that it's like, it blows my mind every time I see something that I had no idea it was a Funko product, and here we are.
I'm dying to go to HQ and even Hollywood just to see some of those things that I don't think you would see otherwise, and know it was Funko specifically.
Right.
Yeah. Hard to argue. Good call.
I'm gonna get that Guest House Gang stuff though. It's hilarious because I love Garbage Pail Kids as a kid. Like, my parents hated it, as they should have, but as like taking advantage of my parents that didn't speak much English, they didn't know what I was getting. So it was like, and my grandma too. God bless my grandma. They had no idea. It was just like, you want to buy this? I'm like, yeah, I do, and they had no idea what it was. So
I like it.
What else we got? So we pretty much hit all the major things. I mean, outside of the pop pencils and like those little things that were really not gonna be. I mean, is anybody excited for the pens and the pencils?
Not me. No.
I'm glad to see they're still doing them.
Well, you know what they make? They make good stocking stuffers or good,
I agree.
trinkets like that. So there's a market for them. Just nothing we're dying for.
Yeah. How are the PPKs? I know we didn't really talk too much about the PPKs, other than Joey couldn't order them, which he's very upset about.
Yes. I like that they're doing more PPKs because, not every line, I think, had PPKs originally that they came out with, but I like that they're doing them for just about everything that's coming out now. So I like that they're going to have some office ones that I can pick up, 1 or 2 or 3 or all 4 of them, whatever. But they're really getting into the My Hero Academia. I've noticed like there's several different versions of like the same one. Like they'll have like a metallic one and then like a glow in the dark one. And it may just be a space thing. Maybe like, hey, we've got some collectors that maybe live in apartments and stuff and don't have all this room for all the full size Pops, but could collect the PPKs, and we'll start, adding some new consumers for that. So I think it's a good idea on their part. Marketing to other people.
Absolutely. So we've kind of touched on everything that we liked, some of the things we weren't big fans of, kind of hit a little bit of everything. So what did you guys see, or what did you guys not see that you kind of wish you saw? Because I know there's definitely things that some of us wish we saw more of.
I'll go. I wish I saw more Bob's Burgers. I know we've talked about that previously. I'm okay not seeing more Rick and Morty because they already cranked out, I think, everything they possibly could, even though we know that's coming at some point. But other than that, I did love that there was a little something for everybody. It was a little anime heavy, I will say. I felt like there was a lot of anime in there that I didn't know about.
There was.
But I hope people are excited about it. But personally, just like to see, more diversity and more, some of the lines I collect. But otherwise, I have no complaints about it. Just I'm excited to see what the expansions go, see what they do with it, see how it works. Especially as a stockholder, I want them to make more money. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah, like I know we talked about it several episodes back about what we thought we would see and what we would like to see, but that we probably wouldn't see. And I was right. We didn't see another wave of Borderlands announced. I just think there's so many characters from that line that we are due a wave. But I mean, I could be wrong on that. I would have liked to have seen, like Clint said, some more Bob's Burgers stuff announced. And I'm just wondering now if this is really going to be their two big times, talking about London Toy Fair and New York Toy Fair to do announcements, and if they'll start scaling back at Fun Days of how much announcements they do. Because from what I was told, 2019 had far less announcements than what 2018 had at Fun Days. So I'm wondering if we've seen like the major bulk announcements and that we won't see another bulk announcement like that until London Toy Fair again next year.
I feel like the big announcements though for these toy fairs are like first and second quarter, and then Fun Days is more end of the year kind of stuff.
Agreed. Or maybe it could be licenses that they finally worked out. Like, good example, a lot of people are still hoping and praying that they somehow get the license for Nintendo. If they were somehow to get that license anytime between today and Fun Days, Brian is gonna break that to the to the world, of course, because everybody and their mom and their dad and their grandpa and what was that smart ass thing I said, like their llama or whatever, everybody wants Nintendo.
Their uncle something, I don't remember what it was. I'm an amiibo collector, right? And those are the Nintendo figurines that Nintendo makes that they're kind of supposed to be out of the box and work with the game, but not. I collect those, and if anybody's from Nintendo is listening, I would also collect pops of them. So why not do both and double dip?
Yep.
It seems like a no-brainer.
Like they want to protect their property, but I don't know why on this one. But anyway.
I mean, you can... we won't get into this.
Yes.
Nintendo is definitely something I'd love to see. How about you, Ryan? Is there anything that you kind of wish you saw more of?
I was mentioning doing London Toy Fair. I was hoping and praying for more music. I mean, granted, we got Pop Album, and I think there's a lot of potential there, especially down the line. There's going to be a lot of good stuff to come there. However, there are a lot more music artists that I would love to see in pop form. Now, I don't know what it's going to take for licensing between these folks. I don't even know who owns the license. If it's like, if it's a band, do they own it? Do their companies that manage them own it, et cetera, et cetera? I mentioned earlier about Lady Gaga. Lisa, good friend of mine locally here, would love to see Lady Gaga. And some of the older artists, like it would be cool to see a new wave of Elvis pops. Reggae Rasta, or if you want to start going down more of the actual artist train, some of your old reggae artists, that's an avenue. There's a lot of different possibilities here that can be tapped. The question is, can they get the license for them, or do they already have them, and are they waiting for the opportune time to tell the world, hey, we have this as well, have at it?
There's a lot of going on. We don't know exactly, but yeah, I think you said it best when they did London Toy Fairs. There's a lot of optimism because they're coming out with so many.
Right. Stupid licensing.
I'm sorry, I'm going to tie back to what I was saying earlier because we were talking about London Toy Fair again. Salt and Pepper, their album in pop albums would be cool too.
Yes.
Because they
really are going to do
Joey
this.
called it. This is happening. Just random.
It came up in conversation because we were talking about London Toy Fair, right? And how, yes. Anyway.
And I'm willing to bet that if they had known maybe how well received the soda figures would have been that they may have had some more ready to announce, because I think those were pretty well received when they were first announced. And I know they had at their booth one of the large scale of the Skeletor.
Yeah. Yep.
So that could have been something that we maybe would have heard more of had they been able to anticipate the excitement level, I guess you should say. I mean, I think they did well marketing it by keeping it both LE and by having a chase. I think that definitely appealed to people. So that's another thing that I guess I was looking forward to maybe seeing some other lines announced. It didn't see that.
Where is Freddy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where's the Freddy?
The mythical London Toy Fair.
The answer is either going to be San Diego at this point or Fun Days. We'll hear more about them.
Or it might be a random shop drop at some point.
You know what actually would be really cool if you guys do make it to the HQ party for ECCC? What if it's just one of those silent things where you show up and they say, "Hey, by the way, as a attendee for this party, here you go."
Right.
That would
don't tease me on that. I'm already going to take the L and I'm already going to have FOMO.
Okay.
Let's not even talk
I'm
about
dangling the carrot in front of you, donkey.
Stop it.
Donkey.
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 The donkey. For me, I think again I got to go back to The Simpsons after seeing Millhouse drop at ECCC and seeing no other Simpsons reveals for New York Toy Fair. That one kind of hurt a little bit because I was like, okay, we're pulling the curtain back on some of the other not the lesser characters on The Simpsons. We got the families done. We did the treehouse with the family. We're starting to branch off. We've got Millhouse coming. Let's see who else we can bring in. And nothing.
I'm going to call it. I don't know if this is going to happen or not. SDCC 2020 Auto in the Bus. Pop ride. I'm going to call it.
I do
Summer of the Simpsons.
I remember when the last Simpson wave came out, people were speculating, comic book guy would be specialty series, would be 7-Eleven, and stuff like
fun.
that.
Like, that's a great way to market it.
Yeah, it's like a scavenger hunt kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now I'm wondering if there's going to be a Freddy dressed as Homer at SDCC. That would be for Fun Days. That would be awesome.
You just know that MC's listening, and he just passed out. He's fainted. So someone please check on MC.
Donut head Homer.
Right.
It's the same way I feel when I think about them doing a Freddy as Dwight from The Office.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Freddy as any Office character would be insane.
Oh yeah.
Like that would be like people would fight over that. Like
I think the Dwight would be easier because everybody else is pretty much just like a random suit or whatever, but Dwight's got that iconic usually mustard yellow with the pager on the side, and Freddy could have the glasses on. So I think that would be probably the most recognizable character that he could do.
Our good friend Austin, he does art, and he did a Dwight concept. Was it Dwight Freddy holding the
bobblehead?
Yeah, the bobblehead of
I think it's a regular Freddy.
Yeah.
Wacky Wobbler or something like that, if I remember correctly.
So
it's pretty phenomenal.
So if you had a Freddy as Dwight holding a Freddy Wobbler, like that would be crazy. Like just be insane.
And the other thing that I was wanting, and I was really hoping, but they didn't announce it since they've been announcing a few more of the 18-inch pops, like the Harry Potter holding Hedwig, which was pretty cool. I was really hoping that they would announce a Freddy 18-inch, but I don't know how much they announce Freddy stuff at these toy fairs.
Yeah, I didn't see anything. Good point.
Even for Spastics, I don't think they really would. It's more mainline stuff, and if you think about it, the fact that they have some of these licenses now that are brand new or like brand new products, it's a good way for the rest of the world to see, hey, this is coming out from Funko. Stay aware about it.
And you need to remember what the point of the toy fair is too. We all get excited about it, and there is consumers that are like us that are big fans of different manufacturers, toy lines, whatever, that are paying attention to what's being announced. But the point is, it's a trade show, right?
Yep.
This is who's going to purchase this to put them at their stores or whatever.
Business. Wholesale.
Right.
Yep.
So got to appeal to them, and I think a lot of these new lines do that. It's like, oh, okay, Funko's now a toy maker, not a collectible maker. They've got all these, Snapsies and Banana Ninjas, whatever it's called.
Yeah, Batman.
So it's getting them, I think, into maybe some more places and a bigger market share in certain stores. So can't really fault them for trying some new stuff.
Nope.
So like I said earlier, at least you're trying.
It's true. I think Funko's in good hands. I mean, Brian is a very smart man. He's a great businessman, and he's, he knows what he's doing, and he's a fan of a lot of the things that we're fans of. So, again, it's a lot of licensing issues and a lot of tough things like that. But it's going to be a good year. I think that's the bottom line, is that Funko's going to have a good year, and there's going to be a lot of things for everybody. Not everything will be for you, but I'm sure you'll find something that you'll enjoy from all the things that we saw from New York Toy Fair this year. Yeah, I mean, we're super interested in hearing what everyone else thinks about New York Toy Fair. You can always hit us up on Twitter, hit us up on email, let us know in the SoundCloud comments just kind of what you guys want to see, what you didn't see. Yeah, we're open for those discussions. If you see us at ECCC or any con this year, pull us aside, have a chat with us. We love to interact with you guys wherever we can. Yeah, I think that about wraps it up for our New York Toy Fair discussion.
I think so.
So what time is it, Joey? What time is it?
It's game time.
Game time part 2, continuation of Back to the Future trivia. So guys, in our little downtime between the episodes here, I actually added 3 more questions. So we're going to have 3 rounds of these more executive level questions, I'm going to call it here, for Back to the Future.
Well, I mean, Ryan, you did have a whole week to add questions. Yeah. I mean, and you only came up with that many. I mean, good Lord, man. What a slacker.
Yeah, what can I say? Time
flew by.
Travel.
This week, it's been a week.
Shout out to the SDS guys.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Nate. I got to say it. Hey, time travel.
That week felt like an hour to you, didn't it, Ryan?
Just as long as you don't come back as a baby in your diaper and you don't know which one of yourselves peed yourself. Little endgame humor for you there.
Let's go ahead and do this instead of talking about this.
Okay, same deal, guys. I am thinking of a number, 1 through 100. Whoever gets closest, we start with you and go clockwise. Joey, I will start with you.
No, I went last time first.
That's fair. I'll go first. 42.
Okay. Nate?
12.
Joey?
29.
Clint goes first. 85.
God. Yeah, we freaking sandwiched Joey, and then we guys went all over the place on that one. All right, whatever. I'll go first. There's 9 questions.
9 questions, yes.
6.
Number 6. What is the name of the rocket-powered hoverboard that Griff Tannen uses in Back to the Future 2?
No wonder that's an executive level question. Speedy Puff Senior. I don't know.
Senior, not junior.
Oh, what if it was junior and you'd? Oh man.
Final answer.
That's my final answer.
Anybody else have a suggestion? Because Clint is absolutely wrong.
Yes, Clint knows that though.
Not a damn clue.
Joey.
Blovers hovers boards.
It's called a pit bull.
That makes
sense. Mr. Worldwide.
It's crazy you say that because they actually had pins with that pit bull board on it last year at SDCC.
I guess you forgot about that one. Or maybe Clint didn't see it. All right. Well,
I did not.
It is your choice, sir.
7.
7. Funcast number. Another Back to the Future 2 question. What company manufactured the hoverboard?
Oh, come on. That's not a hard one.
Maybe not for you.
Or Joey.
No, I don't know it.
Oh, I thought you did.
I was throwing my hands up in the air about how crazy it was.
Oh, actually, I think I know this then. All right.
Pitbull. No, I don't know.
Ryan, is it Mattel?
It is.
Oh, what the?
Joey, your choice.
1.
Number 1. In Back to the Future 1, what is the exact time that lightning strikes a clock tower? And I'm not looking for seconds or anything. I'm just looking for time of day.
Because that's important in the plot, though I don't remember it.
So 11:55?
Nope.
Is it 11:50?
10:04.
Oh, I was thinking 11 too, though, Joey. I was thinking
thinking close to midnight.
Yeah, I was too.
It's not Thriller, Nate. Wrong movie. As Clint does his little dance. Good job.
Unless I did my Thriller dance. I'll go number 4.
4. And just FYI, your dance doesn't mean you're going to do any better in the question.
Oh, I assume it means worse. Anyway.
Probably. Ironically, I'm glad that Joey didn't get this question because he mentioned it last week. Okay, so question is, originally called Twin Pines Mall when Marty departs for 1955, what is the name of the mall when he returns near the end of Back to the Future 1?
Oh my god.
Do you know it, Joey?
No.
Okay, well, it makes me feel
Twin Pine.
No. It has something to do with the fact that he destroyed one of the trees. So
Right,
it's like
that's why I was trying to think, but I
the
couldn't.
Pine Woods Mall or something.
What's the answer, Ryan?
It's Lone Pine Mall,
Lone
as in
Pine.
singular.
Yeah, good call, Joey.
But I was like trying really hard not to say anything when he mentioned all that. I'm like, please don't say anything and give the question away. So I got to change it.
Damn it, Joey. You should know more and help me out. Come on.
Sorry.
Okay, Nate, your choice.
2.
Number 2. In the 1985 timeline, Doc has a dog named Einstein. When Marty goes back to 1955, he meets Doc's old dog named blank.
Oh. I didn't even catch that, but that totally makes sense.
Yeah. I honestly have no idea. Is it named Clint?
No.
Clint Dingus?
Is it named Clint Dingus?
No. Joey, you have any ideas? You're on the right track with the C, though. It's Copernicus.
Oh, I would have never guessed that. I was thinking like Tesla or something. But anyway, all right.
Tesla.
What number was that?
That was number 2.
Yeah.
Okay. It's my turn, right?
Yes.
It is.
9.
Number 9. This one is hard.
Yeah, because all of them have been
this
so
one-
easy.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
I
right.
did not know this at all. A lot of these questions I actually knew the answer to, but this one I did not. Who was originally cast as Marty McFly?
Oh, Eric Stoltz.
Very good. I did not know that. And
Yeah.
see, that's one of those things, either you know it or you don't. So
That
good
was supposed
job.
to be hard.
They pretty much had to reshoot the entire movie, the first one, because they had pretty much finished like principal photography with Stoltz in the role.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't working.
Wow.
It's one of those things, either you know it and you know a lot of facts about it, or you don't. I'm curious whether or not Alex knew, because he's a resident.
I'm sure he did. I bet he did.
I'm sure he
I bet he
did.
did. Yeah.
Also, I would be curious to know if Sully knew that, because he's another BTTF super fan.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anyway, moving on.
So this is it. Number 3.
Number 3. Okay, Clint. What type of building is the clock tower attached to?
Crap.
Meaning, like, what does the building serve as?
Right. Right. It's not.
It's a cafeteria.
It's a Best Buy.
It's a
Where
circuit
they can buy
city.
HDMI cords?
It's a Staples. Staples headquarters.
No, I actually know that one. Is it a library?
No, it is not.
Is it a school?
You want to get one
a dry-
guess?
It's a
I know,
dry
but-
cleaners.
What is it?
It's a courthouse.
I was gonna say library. I thought it was a library.
I thought it was a library too.
Well, at least I'm not the only one that thought that. All right,
That or
Okay,
City
so
Hall.
Nate.
I thought it was gonna be like some kind of.
Nate. I think you lost no matter what, but you should still
It's
try to
true.
answer
Yeah,
this.
right now Joey takes the commanding lead, unless
No.
Clint gets it right.
I'm out.
Wait,
that
you're
was the last
out.
question.
You're
I
on,
had. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
Joey,
between me and
yeah.
Nate.
Yeah, that's true. So unless you get
5.
this right, Joey wins. So you
Just
have a
like
choice
it-
between number 5 and number 8.
Number 5.
Number 5. Okay, this is probably the easier of the two.
Which means nothing.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably means it's harder, actually.
What are the names of Doc's children? Do you know this one, Joey?
No, I'm just glad Nate got that one.
His names are. He had 2 children.
Yes.
One was Asian and one was white, and their names were Ryan and Clint.
Oh, I would have said Einstein and Copernicus.
Those are his dogs.
I didn't want to compare you guys to dogs.
Walker and Texas Ranger.
Wrong movie.
Mountain Dew.
I was trying to think of something witty to say from Talladega Nights, but I can't remember all the little phrases.
Tom Cruise. Oprah.
No, what the kids were saying. He's like,
I'm jacked up on
I'll beat
Mountain
you
Dew.
rotten
Jacked
or
up on
something.
Mountain Dew.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Yeah,
What
I'm
are the
so jacked
answers?
up on Mountain Dew. What was his?
I'll come at you like a spider monkey.
Yeah, Jed, right? Jed is
Yeah,
the
do it,
dad's
Jed,
name.
too.
Anyway, that is wrong, Nate. So it's Jules and Vern.
Those are very
What strange
exciting
names?
No, it's from the book that he. There's a book that he references that Clara is really into as well. Clara's his wife, obviously. We spoke about that last week. Anyway, but those are characters from the book. That's why they ended up naming the kids that. Anyway,
Jules Verne is that's the author,
Yeah.
not characters.
I know. Yeah, sorry.
You say characters in
Yeah,
the book.
yeah. Shut up. Shut up. My game, my rules. I can say what I want. So Joey, last question: what Jaws movie is being shown in Back to the Future 2? Do you know this one, Clint?
Yes.
It's something ridiculously high, isn't it? Like 27.
It's not number 2. I'll tell you that.
No, it's not number 2.
I just said 27.
Oh.
That's my guess. Final guess.
It's 19.
I win anyway.
Yeah, it's 19. Did you know
I
that?
win.
Clint?
Yeah.
Too
See,
bad.
it's those random questions that either you know it or you don't.
And I knew the Mattel one. Damn it.
You lose.
Wrong choices. So let's see. Final score. I think Joey has 70.
Yeah, Joey has
Yep.
70, I have 30, and Nate has 20.
Yeah.
Didn't
Joey
get-
is the winner.
Champion.
Too bad we don't have the Mighty Ducks pops. You can have one up on your screen.
Soon,
Sing along
right?
with it.
Soon.
Yeah.
Soon. Very soon. Thank you, Ryan, for the incredibly difficult game.
Yes, thank you. Since I won,
Congratulations, Joey.
I wouldn't be thanking you if I lost.
Lone,
Be like, you suck.
the Lone Pine wins.
Lone Pine Mall.
The Lone Pine Wall wins, Joey.
I guess it
Joey-
makes sense because he's just one tree.
Yeah.
Right?
that's true.
Exactly.
So-
exactly. So
It
he
was
was
a
in the
gimmick.
timeline where he came back and
One tree for the win.
one tree for the win.
Actually, that's
One
a pretty
tree
good
to
title.
rule them all.
That's
a
exactly
pretty-
what I was
one
thinking.
tree to rule them all. Yeah, I like that one. One tree to rule them all. Sorry, we go off on tangents and then we try to think of episode titles as we record. And
Yep.
this is one of those things. One tree to rule them all. Anyways, honestly, thank you, Ryan, for putting that game together. It's always very fun, even though it is pretty difficult. We don't really have much time to prepare as the participants of the game, so we kind of think like, what is the game designer going to do this week? Because it's New York Toy Fair, so it's got to be something maybe New York related. You start thinking about that. You think we never really think like, oh, it's going to be specific to a fandom that gets announced, but they did have a big
Here we are.
presence. Here we are. They did have a big presence. They're doing some awesome stuff with Funko Pops and Back to the Future, so it makes sense. Ryan, Joey's going to get you back next week, I think.
I'm sure.
Even though he won.
I'm sure.
Even though he won. So yeah. Anyone else have anything they want to jump in on New York Toy Fair? Anything at all?
Punch
Not
out.
here.
Punch out.
Punch out.
That boy.
Stop.
We're gonna try to give away some more bingo squares.
It's just one.
Just one. We already said punch out this week.
No, that was last week.
Was it last week?
Yeah.
I get my weeks confused.
It all mixed together.
It was
Oh
all.
man,
It all happened so fast.
feels like it
This-
ran
this-
all together in the same
yeah,
night
it's such a
almost.
super long week and a half. Anyways, thank you everyone for listening. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at _dorksman. Be sure to interact with us on SoundCloud. We love to hear your comments and read your comments on SoundCloud and wherever else you listen. Reminder, we are also back on YouTube, so if you prefer to listen to us there, we are there on YouTube. Yeah, so with that,
Oh, what
my
about
secret.
bingo cards? We haven't seen any recently.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
sure.
bingo
That's true.
cards. Hashman. Hashman.
Ashman,
Hashman,
Hashtag
Hashman.
Dorksman
Hashman.
Bingo.
Bingo,
Hashman Voldemort.
No R in there.
Bitty bitty bitty.
Dorkspinbingo.com. Use them, share them, add more squares. Let us know what you want to see on there. Maybe we need to add the Force Bingo Square because that one
It's there.
It is.
There's a
there.
force that, yeah. It's just
It'll-
me. It
it'll
needs to
get-
be one for Ryan.
Clint forces a bingo square is a bingo square.
Bingo hemorrhoids.
There you go. The entire board
Yeah,
blacked out
for real.
instantly. Anyways, thank you everybody for listening. We'll see you guys next week. That's my secret. I'm always Joey.
Jules Verne was the author.
Word, homies.
Goodbye.